Hello there everybody, it's your boy N here. I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. So in today's YouTube video, it is going to be the fastest energy activator farm within the First Descendant. So without further ado guys, let's get right on into today's video. Before we do that real quick, my creator code is going to be on screen right now. Top link in the description to support me with my creator code, and my Discord server is also going to be linked in the description. Now with all of that out of the way, let's actually get on into this. I'm going to get straight to the point and make this as fast as I possibly can for you guys, and make sure that everything is all relevant and everything. So let's get right on into it. So first of all, let's go on over the low carbon activators. So for the low carbon activators, you are going to want to go over to the Kingston, and you're going to want to throw it on hard mode and take over this outpost right over here. Now there's two ways that you can run this outpost. Number one is using stealth and having a Sharon get all of the infiltration points and then taking the boss out, and that will give you a higher chance of the amorphous material pattern dropping and stabilizers. Or we have option number two, which I think is the better option, and it's called jumping in with Bunny and absolutely dogging on everything within this outpost. Now one thing that I do find important to mention is that, does it matter if you actually use stealth? And the answer is straight away no. As you can see from this gameplay over here, I just ran in and dogged with Bunny, and I've got myself 18 low carbon, and this is gameplay right now from when I ran with the Sharon stealthing it, and as you can see I only got 14 in this run. So does it make a difference whether you stealth it? Absolutely bloody not. Now for the next resource, it is going to be the conductive metallic foil. Now with this one, there is no perfectly fast way to farm this per se, so it's just about using Enzo, having the code breakers, doing the ping 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 ping, and essentially getting lucky with it. Now what I'm going to put on gameplay wise is I'm going to show you a bunch of different spots I have found these code breaker vaults to spawn, so that can maybe give you guys a little bit of help. So following this spot just down here through this little cave, you will find at the bottom of the cave one of the code breaker vaults. Now of course, just listen out for the Enzo's ping, or not even Enzo, just listen out for the ping. You don't even need to use Enzo for this, it's just that he makes opening the vaults a little bit easier. Now the one really good thing about this specific spot over here is that two code breakers can actually spawn here. One can spawn right there where we have it here, and one can also spawn behind you in the water. I have had it that they have spawned at the same time, so you know this is a spot that is basically crucial to check. Another spot is going to be just over here, right next to the big old timberfall in the Vespers, which is where you obviously need to be to farm all of these metallic foils out. The next spot is going to be right over here, down towards this ruin. Now every single time you do spawn into the Vespers, there will always be at least one of these vaults near the ruin, so it is always worth having a look down there. And for the final spawn point I'm going to show, because I don't want to make this too long and focus on everything else as well in this video, is going to be just right over here. As you can see on the map, just right there, literally, simple as that. So you know, that's a few spots to try making the code breaking process a little bit easier for you. Oh, by the way, quickly before we move on though, I just did want to show you the gameplay that I have. Again, showing you the spot right over here is there is one spawning there and then another one spawning right there, so you know this is actually a mad scuffed spot, so it is always worth checking this spot out. Next up is the heat plasma batteries. Now I did make a video of this a few days ago saying that this was the best method, but I was quickly proven wrong by the amazing community. Now running this mission, Hagios, the old mystery, infiltration on hard mode is going to be the best way for you to farm up this heat plasma battery. I'm sure a lot of you already know this strat, but if you don't, let's just go on over it real quick. Essentially you are just going to want to speedrun this entire process until you get to this specific room right over here. Once you are in this room, you are just going to take out all of the enemies, and then you are just going to, instead of getting the Quipper ores, you are just going to relax and wait and just take out all the enemies that spawn. Bear in mind I was also using the wrong bunny build in this video, well in this section of the video, so please forgive me for that. Throughout your process of waiting, you are going to get these elite enemies spawning, just like one of these, and you're just going to want to take these lot out, and they are going to drop you a fair ton of heat plasma batteries. So this one I got over 10, and then you are just going to keep running around doing your stuff and waiting for the next one to spawn in, which will happen very soon. As you can see, I'm still going, and another one of the elite enemies has spawned in. Just taking him out, and he's going to drop us even more heat plasma battery. And it is quite literally as simple as that. I'm sure at this point you basically get the gist. After taking out 4 or 5 of these, you are essentially just going to abort mission, and you're going to reset. And that is literally as fast as it is to get yourself the heat plasma batteries. So as you can see, I've just picked up the final drop right there, and from here I'm just, I'm thinking about it, am I gonna abort? Yes, I am. Go back to the Albion, reset, and do it all over again. Next up, we have the polyatomic ion particles. Now with this one, there is 2 different farms that I'm going to quickly go on over. Number 1 is going to be the command relay farm, is what people are calling it. So for this one, you literally just start up this mission, you keep going until you find the first elite enemy, you take the first elite enemy out, and then you basically restart. So you just run on over to the mission over here, start it up, and then you just jump on over into the circle up here, and then you essentially just keep speedrunning until you find one of the elite enemies, take him out, and hope for the polyatomic ion particle drop. Now with this farm, in my own personal testing, it has been a little bit flaky, or let's just say inconsistent. With me, I have been getting particles one run, but then I won't get particles for like 3 other runs, and then I will basically just have to reset. Like that run I didn't get any particles, but then in the next run that I'm going to do now, spoiler from the future, I do get the particle. So you can see that this farm is a little bit 50-50 in my personal testing. However, the other farm that I have also made a video on, which is the other fortress farm, the frozen shipyard, I believe that one is called. That one has been far more consistent for me and actually given me the ion particle drop. Now just real quick whilst we're going here, this farm is probably a little bit faster if you do actually get the particles. If you don't, then obviously it's not really worth it and you should give the other farm a try. But in this one, as you can see here, I did actually get myself some of the particles right there. Just before we move on to the final stage of all of this energy activation farming, this is the other farm for the fortress, the one that I personally find a little bit better because the drop is a little bit more consistent. You're just going to run this mission right over here, and then it can take a minute and a half per run, and personally I do prefer it, so a little bit of that. And I'll just fast forward to the end and show you the results on this one. So it's basically the same story anyways. Both of these farms are going to essentially give you polyatomic ion particle, and it's just whichever farm you prefer. With me personally, it's this one. You may prefer the other one, and that's completely okay. Right, with that finally out of the way, let's get on to the final stage of all of this farm. And last but not least, we have the energy activator blueprint itself. Now with this one, there are a lot of material patterns in this game. If you write it in, you can see that there's a ton of different options that you can run to basically get yourself these patterns. However, the one that I am choosing is going to be the 1, 2, 3. Now, why am I choosing this one? Let me show you the rest of the setup with this one. So with this one, as you can see, it is a outpost that should look a little bit familiar to you guys. If you click that, you're gonna realize that this is the Valby outpost. My man, the Valby outpost itself is the stuff of legends, especially pre-patch. Now because we are farming an outpost for a material pattern, your best bet is actually going to, for once in your life, be using the Sharon. Now, do you have to use the Sharon? Absolutely not. But what will using Sharon actually do? It will increase the drop chance of stabilizers and relics whilst you are essentially farming this out. Now please do not be as stupid as I am and think that you've got the capacity to solo this with a Sharon if you've not invested in her. I have not put a single catalyst, neither have I put an activator within my Sharon. I've just got mods on for cooldown and a little bit of duration, and I'm hoping for the best. Now will this work for infiltrations? Absolutely. You do not need anything for infiltration on Sharon per se, but what you are going to need is the ability to survive hard mode, because as soon as you get out of there and you try doing anything else apart from infiltration and stealthing, this is essentially what is going to happen to you. You are just going to get permanently beat up and absolutely wrecked unless you are running this in a squad or with a friend or someone that can actually DPS, because god, if you are going to try DPSing with Sharon, please have something invested in her. Do not make the same mistake I did, because god damn, I felt so stupid after this one. Yes, before you ask, it did get to a point of me being so sick of trying to do this with Sharon that I basically said oy vey and decided to go in with Bunny and absolutely dog on my man for all of them times he just killed me whilst I was a Sharon. So you don't need to run this outpost in stealth, but it is just a little bit of a bonus if you do. Now with Bunny, of course, you know how the gaming goes, you don't even need to try, just run around in circles and call it a day. Now once you have finished my guy, okay, so once you've actually finished my guy up, this is the final bit of all of this farming. Now the one very nice thing is that if you look on over to the other side of where the Valby farm is, you will see this nice big red thing, and if you go on up to said red thing, it's gonna be a revelation, my guy. We're not including on how to farm the shards, because come on, man, you should know that by now. But if you look on over here, you can see that you can open your beloved 1, 2, 3 right over here. So if you've got these shards for all of this, you can literally open your relic and basically crack it open. Oh, sorry, get your relic from the outpost. And in the meantime, if you scuff like that, just crack it open and then go back to running the outpost and back and forth like that. Now I'm gonna just not waste your time and fast forward to the bit where I absolutely take my man out, and I'm gonna show you the energy activator. Okay, let's finish my guy up right there. Okay, and he's done. There you go, people. It's as simple as that. Now, once I crack this thing open, I'm going to get myself the energy activator. Alright, there you go. Applying the stabilizer because we got some of that. Motherfucker!